Hey there, I'm Jonathan Wolf with UTime Coaching, and today I want to talk to you about a strategy that I use with myself, I use with all my clients, that helps you basically take a negative thought, negative image, negative feeling, and how they're kind of all associated together. But basically, thinking about something and it bringing you a negative feeling, a negative emotion, and maybe additional stress and anxiety. Um, so, how to take one of those and to shift it to something that is more positive, almost replace it in some ways. So keep in mind there's different styles of learning. Some people are kinesthetic, where you learn through movement and being shown how to do something. There's auditory, just by verbally telling someone something. And so usually people are a combination of things, but they might favor one way versus the next. So this strategy might not necessarily completely satisfy what you're looking for, but give it a shot because it can help, especially if you're doing it in addition to other things. Um, and also keep in mind, this doesn't replace seeing a mental health professional, a therapist, a coach, a counselor. So today, what I want to talk about is the Swish technique. So in essence, we are kind of trained in our minds um, to see something, feel something, and do something, or see something, see this, feel this, see this, do this. And so the sequence with that is so connected and so ingrained that a lot of people, they might be able to picture themselves speaking in front of 50 or 100 people, and just the thought alone of doing that can bring them added stress and anxiety, and have an actual stress response because of it, which might in turn actually cause you to have a decreased performance or have some of those symptoms. Uh, but it might also prevent you from doing it in the first place. So public speaking is just one example, but there's lots. I had a client that was actually just going to get their taking their driver's test, and they were told from friends that you're either going to get one of two instructors. One was very easy, and you didn't feel nervous around them, and the other one was what he described as a hardo, and that you had to worry. You made one small mistake and you failed. And so he was super anxious about this being the person that he got. And so we did this technique with two different sets of it. One, if he didn't get this person, and also if he did get this person. So let's give this a shot. So basically, all you need to do is sit down and find a quiet space. And the first thing that you're going to do is you're basically going to create picture A, and picture A is going to be the undesirable picture. So if it's public speaking or it's something that you need to do, something that just the thought of it and the picture of it brings you stress, anxiety, brings you down, makes you feel depressed, then I want you to create a picture, all right, of that, kind of like a movie theater screen size picture of whatever that thing is. And so I'll use the public speaking as an example. So this might be um, a picture of you and the crowd, um, and just the sheer size of the crowd alone will make you feel that anxiety, make you feel that stress and those negative emotions. It could be the reaction from the crowd, that people look confused, people are laughing at you, or it could be you also seeing your reaction, sweating. You can see kind of the weak knees, even though you can't see the movement, but you can see what you look like nervous. So picture A, I want you to basically pick the scene that you want, or the snapshot that is going to elicit that negative response and those emotions that are undesirable. Um, and so I keep on saying negative. What I mean, it's easy to understand it. Most people see it as negative feelings, but they're all just emotions, and there's reasons for having each of them. So the undesirable emotions will reference it as. So picture A is going to be that picture. So my picture is going to be standing up in front of on stage, in front of 100 people. Right? I don't know these people, and and I haven't done this in a while, and so I can just picture myself, um, you know, the maybe a little sweaty, and these people just looking at me with kind of a blank stare. So I can't really read. Do they get it? Do they like it? Does it make sense to them? Am I doing a good job? Am I just mumbling over and over again? So this crowd of 100 people just staring at me, not being able to read where they're at, and me looking nervous. So that's my picture A. Um, Make your picture in color. All right, vividness is important here. So I like to tell people picture A, if you see it and it's not bringing up those feelings, then really try to put yourself back in that circumstance, so you get some of those feelings when you see the picture. And then I want you to basically turn the volume up. The volume up being if the color needs to be more vivid, if the details of the scene needs to be more specific, then make those altercations so you can actually feel those undesirable feelings. And that's picture A. So I want you to take picture A and put it off on the side for a second. And now I want you to create picture B, which is going to be the desirable picture. All right, the picture of that same kind of context that you would want to feel, you'd want to see and get that reaction. Um, and so if for me, the public speaking, it would be me kind of, I'm moving my hands now, so it might be a picture of me with a smile on my face, moving my hands around up on stage, and kind of a panoramic of the audience and them having, laughing or with me, and or they have a look of enjoyment. And they're not sleeping, they're not staring at me. So I can tell that I am engaged, they're engaged, um, and likely the anxiety is going to feel a little less. So I feel more confident just by looking at it. When I ask myself, okay, how do I feel when I see this? I would definitely say more confident, happy, secure. And I wouldn't say things like anxious or stressed or fearful. Um, so picture B, create a vivid picture. Remember, turn the volume up so it's more detailed and more colorful, so it elicits those desirable feelings in that circumstance. So that's picture B. So now what I want you to do is I want you to imagine you're sitting in a movie theater completely by yourself. All the seats are empty, and you're sitting dead center, staring at this blank white screen. What you're going to do is you're going to put picture A up there, the undesirable picture. All right, and you're going to sit there for a second and look at picture A and think about all the feelings, all the undesirable feelings it brings up for you. And make sure you can get to that point where it brings up those undesirable feelings. And next, what you're going to do is basically, you're going to take almost imagine a postage stamp. All right, so you're going to, in the bottom right or left-hand corner, one of the corners of the screen, put picture B in the corner of one of those screens, the size of a postage stamp. So when you look at the screen, you see picture A, and you know that small postage stamp in the corner is picture B, but you can't quite make out what it is because it's so small, but you know what it is, and it just sits there. And so you have picture A up there. You ask yourself what feelings does this bring up, and you really kind of get into that zone. And you got little postage stamp picture B in the corner. And so the swish part is you're going to count down 3, 2, 1. When we get to 1, you're going to make an actual swish sound. You're just going to go, swoosh, all right, or whoosh, some version of that, but make a swishing sound. And as you're making the swishing sound, you're going to take that little postage stamp size B, which you know what it actually is, and you're going to blow it up so it takes up the entire screen and covers picture A. So now you're sitting there looking at picture B, the desirable picture. And you're going to do the same. You're going to look at picture B and you're going to look at what's in there and you're going to question, how do I feel? What does this bring up? What desirable feelings do I sit with right now? And if you don't feel them, really get into the zone and imagine feeling them. All right. So fine tune the picture so it does elicit those feelings. So now you have picture B up there. And so after you see picture B up, you're going to do something that's going to take your mind off of things, because that's kind of the end of round 1. And you're going to, you could stand up, you can do a couple jumping jacks, you can clap your hands, count back from 10, say a joke to yourself, something that's going to clear your mind and get you back to square one. Because square one is going to be putting picture A back up there, the undesirable picture, and bring up what are the undesirable feelings that I get when I see this picture. You see the little postage stamp size picture of picture B in the bottom corner, and you say 3, 2, 1, whoosh, and you blow up picture B so it takes up the entire picture, knocks out, sits on top of picture A. And then you ask yourself, what desirable feelings do I feel now? And you're going to do this 8 to 10 times. All right, just repetitively do it. And you do it on different days too, but you keep doing this to the point where when you picture the actual picture A or some variation of it, it's almost impossible for picture B to either not come in, partially come in, for you to think about both of them at the same time. But the bottom line is you're going to sever the kind of the communication pathway of see this, feel this. When normally it's, see talking in front of 100 people, feel anxious, feel afraid, feel fearful, and less confident. And it's going to say, see this picture, and then picture B is going to start to creep in and the feelings that are associated with that. All right. So it severs that kind of neurological pathway of see this, feel this, and that pattern that um, you've developed over time. So this can be used for anxiety, can be used for times of depression. It could be used for fears and negative thoughts and inner dialogue. And we all visualize, whether or not I consider myself not too great at visualizing, but we all visualize before we typically do something. All right, it could be a split second, subconscious level, but we all do it. So do this 8 to 10 times and try to do it over a series of days with the same pictures. And you can add different pictures based off of the context of the things that you're trying to change. But give this a shot. Love to hear how it goes, and I look forward to hearing back from you. But enjoy this, and I hope that it helps you out with what you're looking to get help for. So talk to you soon.